Hello, happy Wednesday. I will do another update or two and just see. I just had posted earlier that I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep doing it just because I don't know how many people are actually watching but I think there's people watching the videos that I didn't even realize were paying attention, so kind of cool. Boy, oh, today was another commute back home, and I'm very lucky that the commute ended up being actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be because there was some wild, wacky weather. There was a bunch of wind and even some snow, hail, rain all over Idaho. And when I was driving from home back to here, I was worried that the passes were going to be terrible, but they weren't. So that's good. Um, the saga of where to stay continues. So I did speak with the owner of the Airbnb that I'm staying in currently and have been since I got here, and I'm going to stay put in here for now. She's been great to work with. The only thing is, right now there's no internet. The router's not working or something, and the propane's out. That's fine. I have heat and I have cooking ability, and she's taking care of all those things, and it's all good. It's just, every once in a while, it's kind of those first world inconveniences, that sometimes are a little annoying. So back to work tomorrow, and then I'm kind of back on what would have been my normal schedule back at my old job. I used to do 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, and then I would have 7 days off. I won't be having seven, but I'll be having five off after I work this three on, one off, three on. And that's the schedule that I liked. And I know people thought I was crazy, but it was because I got my seven off. I don't get that same reward for working those days here, but it's still not too bad. I did enjoy spending the few days that I was at home, and we got a lot taken care of. Finally got most of our closet put together. There's one or a couple little pieces left to put in the closet, but I was able to hang some of my clothes up, which was good. My closet had collapsed a few months ago. All the shelves, rickety closet system that they put in, like, builder grade stuff. And we bought, not super fancy, just Home Depot closet organization system pieces that mostly my husband, put in. I helped a little tiny bit this weekend or this week when I was helping out with visiting this weekend. We got car registrations done. We just got a couple of different odds and ends and things taken care of. We spent a day together, but we spent the day together running errands. And also I was a little disappointed because we went out to a place for breakfast that we hadn't been to in a long time. It's a restaurant that every time we had tried to go, the last time we went was like 5 years ago. And every time we had gone since, there was always a line out the door, and it was like super busy, and there was just no way we were going to sit and wait for that. And so we'd go somewhere else. Well, the other day we went to run the errands, and then afterwards we're like, well, you want to go grab some breakfast? So we went, and we're like, well, let's go try this place. We haven't been there in a long time. Let's see if they're not busy. And they weren't. They were not busy at all. And I don't know if it's because they changed, they're not as good, but we weren't impressed. And I'm kind of sad because after that, we felt like we couldn't splurge on getting dinner. And I had really been looking forward to Indian food. I really like the Indian food place down in Post Falls. And that's where we were going to go to dinner. But then after we spent money on going out to breakfast, I wish we hadn't gone out to breakfast. I wish we'd just like eaten breakfast at home or something. But we were running errands all morning, and I mean, we got them mostly taken care of by. We could have eaten at home. We could have and had Indian food because that would have been so much better. Um, but yeah, so a couple errands we needed to take care of. Holy cow, the getting all the registrations taken care of. All of our cars expire, most of them, um, in March. No, April, March and April. No, February and April. Anyway, found out my husband's tires were expired in February, and I was like, hey, well, we go get because I knew my trucks were expired this month in April, so but I had till the end of the month, but I wanted to get them while I was there. And then I looked at his van and I was like, hey, babe, your tags are expired. So we got those taken care of. Um, yeah, that's really my whole excitement for the past few days. Um, I'm just kind of contemplating things. I'm kind of excited about like seeing if I can find a place to put my trailer, but there's like nowhere to put it that I can find right now. I think it's a crisis of travel nurse housing right now all over. And I know that's something that they talked about, the travelers that were at my old hospital, but they just really couldn't find a place to stay. And they were like staying at hotels or staying at Airbnbs like I am here, or I know one lady was like renting out someone's basement at the hospital. They were asking staff nurses to like, if you had a room to rent or something to like rent for one of the travelers or something because they just didn't have a lot of places to go. And I think that's definitely the case here. And this is a much smaller town, and there aren't as many hotels and things here. There are some hotels, but that gets pricey. If you aren't aware how the travel nursing works, so you get paid hourly wage like you would if you were working in a hospital, but you also get a housing and meal stipend. And that's actually where kind of some of the money comes in. Yes, we get a higher hourly pay than the staff nurses, but also since we get that housing and food stipend, um, that's supposed to, pay for all your needs while you're traveling. And the trick is to find a place to stay that's not ridiculously expensive so that not all of your stipend is used on your actual housing or food, so that you can actually, you're still bringing in a little more money. Right now, that is not the case because I am pretty much using my all of my housing stipend on the place that I'm staying at. Um, but I have a place to stay, and that's the good thing about, when I talked to the owner today about whether or not I was going to be moving into my trailer. And I told her, I said, well, I can't find anywhere right now. And so we'd already originally planned on me being here till the end of the month. So that's what I'll be doing. But I got to keep looking because I'm now here till August. And trying to find places to stay is kind of scary. So, yeah, the travel nurse pay does include the housing and meal stipend. So, Um, yeah, it's just, and not all agencies help you find housing. Mine doesn't. I think some agencies will help the travelers find housing. I think my company that I work for is still evolving, and they're doing different things, but um, and maybe that'll be a thing in the future. But right now, they do not. So, um, but I've got this cool travel trailer that I just can't use yet currently because I don't know where to put it. Yeah. So what else is going on in the world? It was nice to go home and see the boys. My son got his hair cut, my older one, and Spencer has had his hair long for the longest time. And then he was the one that asked me, said, "Mom, can you take me to get my hair cut?" Okay. And he got it short. I let him pick. Um, for those of you who don't know, he's 21, but um he's on the spectrum, and sometimes he doesn't communicate things really well. Like, I mean, he's high functioning. It's just sometimes he doesn't say what he means or say what he's thinking. He kind of keeps to himself sometimes, and then other times he has zero filter and won't shut up. But anyway, so we spent the day together, took him to an appointment, and then took him to get his hair cut, and I grabbed him some food, and then um, we went back home, and that was like the longest I'd talked to him in a long time because most of the time he just hibernates in his bedroom. He was talking about because he still hasn't worked yet. He's never had a job, and he's been very anxious about this whole thing, especially since the world's changed in 2020. But he was talking about a janitorial type job, and it was like that might actually be a good ticket for him because um, if it's a job where you're not like around as many people, he doesn't like to be around people. He's he's fairly antisocial. And a lot of that, like I said, he's on the spectrum. So he just doesn't like crowds. He doesn't like to have to talk to people. Um, he kind of just does his own thing. And so if you're able to get a job where it's like, you're just like cleaning and listen to your headphones or something or whatever, and he doesn't have to really interact with people as much. He had talked about at one point getting a job at a grocery store, but then he would have had to interact with people more. So maybe that would be a better solution for him. I don't know. Um, yeah, so just kind of been doing my thing with the family for the past few days, and now I'm back here trying to get myself straightened out. My husband did smoke some ribs when we were back at home, so I brought those with me to eat, and that's pretty tasty. I don't know what to think about what's going on in the grocery stores right now. It seems like there are shortages of things, and I have this feeling that we are going to see more empty store shelves, and we're probably going to go through some shortages of stuff. So just kind of be wary about those things. And it's like, especially younger generations, but even my generation, like we don't know what it really means to not have what we need on the store shelves, like our grandparents, great grandparents, they knew, with way back in, World War II type stuff, and even just when there were, fluctuations, recessions, and different things, but really not knowing what it means to be without stuff on the grocery store shelves, or, standing in bread lines type things. And that is kind of a scary concept because, we talk about all the first world problems of the internet not working, or, just not having access to my favorite snack or something like that. And not really understanding what it means to go hungry because there's no actual food on the shelf. Last time I went to the store, there was, or here before I left, there were no half gallons of milk. There were gallons, but no half gallons. Um, every time I go to the store, there's like something not on the shelf. One time I went and there was like absolutely no chicken. I've been there's no pasta. There's no cup of noodles. There's no um, crackers. They were out of most of the crackers on the cracker aisle. And different stuff like that isn't as important, like to most people. But when your kids are super picky and they won't eat certain things, and I keep trying to tell them, and I've been talking about this for a little while, it's hard to be picky when there aren't any other options. So if it comes down to there's nothing left on the shelf but the stuff that you don't really like you're gonna have to eat it in order to survive. But I don't know. They don't understand that concept, and they think that's just crazy mom talk because, mom's crazy. And, I don't know. You know what happened to the toilet paper? You guys saw that, right? Okay, you remember the toilet paper? Nobody could get any paper towels. They had limits, 2 packages or whatever per person because the stores were empty. I just kind of see that on a larger scale coming. It's just my opinion. I don't know. But I'm just gonna keep plugging away and doing what I can do at my job. Trying to get some stuff paid off and taken care of, and that's what keeps me driving to keep doing what I do because it is kind of hard to be away from the family. But I do enjoy the hospital I'm at, and I am learning different things. But it's not the same as being back home. So anyway, it was a beautiful day today. Blue skies all the way down my drive, which was, great after, I had seen pictures of the passes full of snow and slush and cold and icy roads, and that's never a good thing. So hope you guys all are doing well. Um, I'm going to go ahead and probably go chill for the rest of the night. Today's my night before my first night on, so I usually stay up late, and then I will sleep tonight though. But I've got to try to flip back into a night schedule. So I usually try to stay up late and get up early, so then I can um, get up, take a nap during the day, and then get up for work in the afternoon and all that good stuff. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you on the next update. Take it easy.